friend Sergey has bought a painting. It's a canvas, about 5 feet by 4, white. Its background is white, and if you screw up your eyes, you can make out some fine white diagonal lines as well. Sergey is one of my oldest friends, and he's done very well for himself. He's a dermatologist. And he's really into art. On Monday, I went over to see the painting. He'd actually got hold of it on a Saturday. But he had been lusting after the painting for several months now. This white painting with white lines. Expensive.
200,000.
200,000.
Sean Deloney would take it off my hands for 220.
Who's that?
Deloney.
Never.
Sean Deloney. The Deloney Gallery.
The Deloney Gallery would take it off your hand for 220?
No, not the gallery. Him. Sean Deloney himself. For his own collection.
Why did Jean Deloney himself buy the painting then?
It's important for them to sell to private clients. That's how the market circulates.
Oh.
Well, you're not in the right place. Look at it from this angle. Can you see the lines?
What's the name of the...
Painter. Anthrios.
Is he well known?
Very. Very.
Sergey, you haven't bought this painting for 200,000 francs.
You don't understand? That's what it costs. It's an Anthrios.
You have not bought this painting for 200,000 francs?
I might have known you'd miss the point.
You paid 200,000 francs for this shit.
My friend Mark's an intelligent enough guy. I've always valued our relationship. He has a good job. He's an aeronautical engineer. But he's one of those new style intellectuals who are not only enemies of modernism but seem to take some sort of incomprehensible pride in running it down. In recent years, these nostalgia merchants have become quite breathtakingly arrogant. What do you mean by this shit?
Sergey, where's your sense of humor? Why aren't you laughing? It's fantastic you buying this painting.
I don't care how fantastic you think it is. I don't care if you laugh. But I would like to know what you mean by this shit.
You're kidding?
No, I'm not. By whose standards is it shit? If you call something shit, you need to have some criterion to judge it by.
Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Hello?
You have no interest whatsoever in contemporary painting. You never have. This is a field about which you know absolutely nothing. So how can you assert that any given object which conforms to laws you don't understand is shit?
Because it is. It's shit. I'm sorry.
He doesn't like the painting. Fine. But there was no warmth in the way he reacted. No attempt. No warmth when he dismissed it without a thought. Just that vile, pretentious laugh. A real know-it-all laugh. I hated that laugh.
I don't understand why Sergey bought this painting. It's disturbed me. It's made me profoundly disturbed. As I left this place, I had to take 5 pellets of Gelsemium 9C, which Paula recommended. Gelsemium and Ignatia, which one do you prefer? I mean, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Because I couldn't believe that my friend could have bought that white painting. 200,000 francs. He's comfortable, we're not rolling in money. Comfortable, that's all. And he goes ahead and spends 200,000 francs on a piece of white shit. I have to go talk to Ivan. He's a friend of ours. I have to discuss this with him. Although Ivan is a very tolerant guy, which, when it comes to relationships, is the worst possible thing you can be. Ivan is tolerant because he couldn't care less. If Ivan tolerates the fact that Sergey has bought this piece of white shit, then it means he wouldn't care less about Sergey, obviously.
I'm Ivan. I'm a little tense at the moment because having spent my whole life in textiles, I've just found a new job as a sales agent in this wholesale stationery business. Now people like me. My professional life has always been a failure, and I'm getting married in 2 weeks. She's a lovely, intelligent girl from a good family.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for the top to my pen.
Alright, that's enough.
I had it in my hand 5 minutes ago.
It shouldn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Forget about it, just buy another one.
It's a very special pen tip. It writes on any surface. And I had it in my hand 5 minutes ago. It's infuriating. Objects. I can't tell you how much they infuriate me.
So, are you going to be living here?
Do you think it's a suitable place for a young couple?
Young couple.
Try not to laugh like that in front of Catherine.
How's the stationery business?
Alright, I'm learning.
You've lost weight.
Of course I did. Alright, okay, stop about that talk. It'll all dry up, just sit down.
If you're going to keep talking about the top, I leave.
Okay, I'll stop. You want something to drink?
A Perrier, if you have one. So, have you seen Sergey lately?
No, not lately. Have you?
Yes, I did yesterday.
Oh, is he alright?
Yeah, he's got a painting.
Nice.
White.
White?
Yes, white. Imagine canvas, about 5 feet by 4. And the background is white. In fact, it's completely white, you know? And maybe some fine white diagonal lines on it as well. And, you know, maybe one line at the bottom.
How can you see them?
What?
These white lines, if the background's white, how can you see these lines?
I suppose you just can, because I guess the lines are slightly grey, or vice versa. Anyway, there are more than one kind of shade of white, you know.
Don't get upset. Why are you getting upset?
Because you immediately start quibbling. Why don't you let me finish?
Go on.
Alright, so now you have an idea of how the painting looks like.
I think so, yes.
Now you have to guess how much Sergey paid for it.
Who's the painter?
Antrios, ever heard of him?
No. Is he fashionable?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, it is logical.
It's not logical.
It is logical. You asked me to guess the price of the painting. You know very well the price depends on how fashionable the painter is.
I'm not asking you to apply a whole set of critical standards. I'm not asking for a professional estimate. I'm asking what you, Ivan, would pay for a white painting, gussied with some off-white stripes.
Jack shit.
Right? Now what do you think Sergey paid for it? Pick a figure at random.
10,000 francs? 50,000 francs. 150?
Keep going.
200?
200. 200,000 francs.
200,000 francs.
Yes.
Is he crazy?
Seems like it.
All the same.
What? What do you mean all the same?
You know, if it makes him happy, he can afford it.
So that's what you think.
Why? What do you think?
Don't you understand the seriousness of this?
What is the seriousness of this?
It's so strange how you're missing the basic point of the story. All you can see are the externals. Don't you understand the seriousness of this?
What is the seriousness of this?
You don't understand what this means?
You want to catch
You don't see how Sergey suddenly in some grotesque way sees himself as a collector.
Well,
From now on, our friend Sergey is one of the great connoisseurs.
bullshit.
Of course it's bullshit. You can't buy your way in that cheap. But that's what he thinks.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't that upset you?
No, not if it makes him happy.
If it makes him happy, what kind of philosophy is that? What the fuck is that supposed to mean if it makes him happy?
As long as it doesn't do harm to anyone else.
But it is doing harm. It's doing harm to me. I'm disturbed. More than disturbed, I'm hurt. I'm hurt because I'm actually quite fond of Sergey. To see himself be ripped apart of every ounce of discernment, sheer snobbery.
I don't know why you're so surprised, but Sergey's always been like that. He's always haunted art galleries like crazy. He's always been an exhibition freak.
He's always been a freak, but a freak with a sense of humor. You know what really upsets me is that you can't really laugh with him anymore.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
Have you tried?
Of course I've tried. What do you think I do? I laugh. Heartily. Didn't crack a smile. Oh, 200,000 francs, that's kind of an expensive laugh.
Yes. I'll make you laugh.
I'd be amazed. Anyone else?
He'll laugh. You'll see.
And you get along with the in-laws?
Wonderfully. As far as they are concerned, I'm just a jerk stumbling from one iffy job to another. And I'm now groping my way into the world of vellum. This thing on my hand, what is it? Is it serious?
No.
Oh, good. So what's new?
Nothing. Lots of work. Exhausted. Good to see you. You never call.
Oh, I don't like to disturb you.
Oh, just speak to my secretary and I'll call you right back.
Yes, sir. Your place gets more and more monastic.
Yes. Have you seen Mark lately?
No, not lately. Have you?
2 or 3 days ago.
Is he alright?
Yes. More or less.
Oh,
No, he's alright.
I talked to him on the phone last week. He seemed alright.
Well, he is. He is alright.
You seemed to be implying he wasn't alright.
On the contrary, I said he was alright.
More or less, you said.
Yes. More or less.
So you've been out, seen anything?
No. I can't afford to go out.
Oh.
I'm ruined.
Ooh.
Would you like to see something special?
Sure. Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Anthrios.
Yes, yes.
It's a 70s Anthrios. Worth mentioning. He's going through a similar phase right now, but this one's from the 70s.
Yes, yes. Expensive?
In absolute terms, yes. In fact, no. You like it?
Yes, yes.
Hey!
Hey. Yes. And also at the same time,
You don't really get the resonance just at the moment.
well, a little.
No, you don't. You have to come back in the middle of the day. That resonance you get from something monochromatic, it doesn't happen under artificial light.
Uh-huh.
Not that it is actually monochromatic.
Oh, no. How much?
200,000.
Very reasonable.
Crazy or what?
Crazy.
200,000! You know Mark's seen this painting.
Oh.
Devastated.
Oh.
He told me it was shit. A completely inappropriate description.
Absolutely.
You can't call this shit.
No.
You can say I don't get it, I can't grasp it. You can't say it's shit.
You've seen his place.
There's nothing to see. It's like yours. It's you couldn't care less.
You know, his taste is classical. He likes things classical. What do you expect?
He started in with the sardonic humor. Not a trace of humor. Not a trace of charm.
I know Mark is moody. Nothing new about that.
He has no sense of humor. With you I can laugh. With him, I'm like a block of ice.
It is true. He is a little gloomy right now.
I don't blame him for not responding to this painting. he doesn't have the training for it. There's a whole apprenticeship you have to go through, which he hasn't, either because he's not wanted to or he has no particular instinct for it. None of that matters, no. What I blame him for is his tone of voice, his smugness, his tactlessness. I blame him for his insensitivity. I couldn't give a shit about this painting. You know I like him for better things. And he likes you too. No, no, no. I felt it the other day. Kind of condescension. Contempt with a really bitter edge. No! Yes! Where do you get this urge to be the great reconciler of the human race? Why don't you agree that Mark is atrophied, if he hasn't already atrophied?
We laughed.
You laughed.
We laughed. Both of us together. We laughed, and I swear you on Catherine's life, we had a good laugh.
You told him it was shit and you had a good laugh.
No, I didn't tell him it was shit. Both laughed spontaneously.
You came to the room, looked at the painting, and then you laughed, and then he laughed.
Yes, something like that. We talked a bit, and then it was pretty much the way you described it.
Was it a genuine laugh?
Perfectly genuine.
Well then, I've made a mistake. Great, I'm actually pleased to hear that.
You know, it was even better than you think it was. It was Sergey who laughed first.
It was Sergey who laughed first.
Yes!
But what made him laugh?
He laughed because he sensed I was about to laugh. I guess he laughed twice.
But then it doesn't count that if Sergey laughed first. If he laughed first, it was to diffuse your laughter. It wasn't a genuine laugh.
It was a genuine laugh.
It may have been a genuine laugh, but it wasn't for the right reasons.
What is the right reason? I'm confused.
He wasn't laughing because he thought his painting was ridiculous. You weren't laughing for the same reasons. You were laughing at the painting, while he was laughing to be ingratiated. Put himself on your way. To show on dopamine and his teeth and spend more on one painting than you earned in a whole year, he's the same old rebellious pal you used to kid around with.
You know,
Yes?
this is going to amaze you.
Go
I
on.
didn't like the painting, but I didn't actually hate it.
Well, of course you didn't hate it. You can't hate something that's invisible. You can't hate nothing.
No, it has something. It's not nothing.
What do you mean it has something?
It has something. It's not nothing.
You're kidding.
It's a work of art. There's a system behind it.
A system?
A system.
What system?
It's a work of art. It wasn't painted by accident. It's a work of art, Mark. It stakes his claim as part of a trajectory.
You're spewing all of Sergey's nonsense. From him it's heartbreaking. From you it's just comical.
No, Mark. The smugness. You want to watch that? You're getting bitter.
Great.
And it's not very attractive.
The older I get, the more offensive I hope to become. Great. It's impossible. I mean, look at this piece of shit, but never mind. Never mind, there's a system behind it. Look at that painting. You think there's a system behind that? No. Too expressive, too evocative. It's all on the canvas. No scope for a system.
Glad you're enjoying yourself.
Ivan, look. Describe your feeling. Speak for yourself.
Felt a resonance.
Felt a resonance.
You're denying that I'm capable of appreciating that painting myself.
Of course I am.
Well, why?
Because I know you. Because apart from being disastrously open-minded, you're actually quite sane.
I say the same for you.
Ivan, look me in the eye.
I'm looking at you.
Were you moved by Sergey's painting?
No.
No, answer me this. You and Catherine get that painting as your wedding present. Does that make you happy? Does that make you happy?
Of course, it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me happy. But generally speaking, I'm not the sort of a person who could say I'm happy just like that. I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of an occasion where I could have said, yes, I'm happy. Are you happy to be getting married? My mother stupidly asked me one day. Are you at least happy to be getting married? Why wouldn't I be? What do you mean, why wouldn't I be? You're either happy or you're not. What's why wouldn't I be got to do with it?
As far as I'm concerned, it's not white. When I say as far as I'm concerned, I mean objectively. Objectively speaking, it's not white. It has a white background with a whole range of greys. There might even be some red in it. You could say it's very pale. I wouldn't like it if it was white. Mark thinks it's white. That's his limit. Mark thinks it's white because he's gotten hung up on the idea that it's white. Unlike Ivan. Ivan doesn't think it's white. And Mark can think what he likes. What do I care?
Should have taken the English. Why do I have to be so categorical? What possible difference does it make to me if Sergei finds himself taken by some modern art? I mean, it is a serious matter, but I could have put it to him in a different way. Could have used a less aggressive tone. Even if it does make me physically ill that my best friend has bought a white painting, still ought to avoid attacking him for it. I have to be nicer to him. From now on, I'm on my best behavior.
Feel like a laugh?
Go on.
Ivan liked the Andreos.
Where is it?
You want another look?
Let me see it.
I knew you'd come around to it. Ivan got it right away. Alright, listen. It's just a picture. You don't have to get bogged down with it. Life's too short, you know. By the way, have you read this? Read it. It's a masterpiece. Incredibly modern. Read this and you don't have to read anything else. What with the office, the hospital, Francoise, who has now decreed that I need to see the children every weekend, which is something new for Francoise, the notion that children need a father. Anyway, I haven't got time to read anymore. I'm obliged to go straight for the essentials.
As in painting, where you've so ingeniously removed all form and color, those old chestnuts.
Yes, although I'm still capable of appreciating more figurative work. Like your Flemish number, very restful.
What's Flemish about? It's a view of Carcassonne.
Oh no, it's Flemish in style. The window, the view, in any case it's very pretty.
It's not worth anything, you do know that.
What difference does that make? God knows if the Anthrios will be worth anything in a few years' time.
You know, Sergey, I've been thinking and I've changed my mind. The other day I was driving across town and I was thinking about you. And I said to myself, isn't there deep down something really poetic about what Sergey has done? Isn't surrendering to this incomprehensible urge to buy, in fact, an authentically poetic impulse?
You're very conciliatory today. Unrecognizable. Where do you get this bland, submissive tone of voice? It doesn't suit you at all, but
I'm trying to explain. I'm apologizing.
apologizing? What for?
I'm too thin-skinned. I'm too high-strung. I overreact. I guess you could say I lack judgment.
Read Seneca.
See, for instance, when you say read Seneca, I could have easily gotten annoyed. I'm really capable of being really annoyed by you saying read Seneca during the course of the podcast. That's absurd.
No, because you thought you could
I didn't say I was annoyed.
You said you could
I
easily.
could easily
Get annoyed. And I understand that. Because when you said read Seneca, when I said read Seneca, you tell me you sense a kind of superiority. You tell me you lack judgment. And my answer to that is read Seneca. That is obnoxious.
It is a little.
Having said that, I didn't say read Seneca. I said read Seneca. The fact of the matter is, you've quite probably lost your sense of humor.
Probably.
You've lost your sense of humor, Mark. You have lost your sense of humor. The other day, Ivan and I agreed to the fact that you'd lost your sense of humor. He's incapable of being on time. It's infuriating.
What said I've lost my sense of humor?
Oh yeah, Ivan and I somewhat agreed to the fact that you completely lost your sense of humor.
Last time you and Ivan met, he said he likes your painting.
Oh yes, that very much. He loves the painting. And he meant it. What's that you're eating?
English.
Oh, you believe in homeopathy now? Didn't you think Ivan had lost a lot of weight?
So's she.
It's the wedding. Eating away at them.
Oh, that's fine. Please try. Well, where are you gonna put it?
There. Or there. I don't know. Too ostentatious.
Aren't you gonna have it framed?
No.
Why not?
It's not supposed to be framed.
Is that right?
The artist doesn't want it framed. See, it must not be interrupted. It's already in its setting.
What is that? A piece of tape?
No. It's a kind of craft paper made up by the artist.
It's funny how you say the artist.
What else am I supposed to say?
You say the artist. Or even say the painter or whatever his name is, Antrios.
Alright, so?
But you say the artist as if he's. Never mind, doesn't matter. Well, what are we gonna watch today? Let's actually put on something with some substance for once.
It's already 8 o'clock. Everything will have started by now. I don't understand how this man, Ivan, who has nothing whatsoever to do, manages to be late every single time. It's infuriating.
Let's just eat dinner.
5 after 8. We said we'd meet between 7 and a half past. What do you mean when you say the artist?
Oh, that. Nothing. I was going to say something stupid.
Well, go on.
You say the artist as if he's some kind of higher being. The artist, some god.
Well, he is. He is a god for me. I wouldn't have forked out an entire fortune for a mere mortal, would I?
No. You go anywhere?
Oh, yeah. I went to the Pompidou last Monday. And you know how many Anthrioses they have at the Pompidou? 3! They have 3 Anthrioses at the Pompidou.
Amazing.
And mine's as good as 8. Not better. I have a suggestion. Let's give Ivan exactly 3 minutes and then we get the hell out of here. It's infuriating, this ability to be on time.
Why are you being so jumpy?
I'm not jumpy.
Yes, you are.
I'm not jumpy. Alright, I am jumpy. I'm jumpy because this slackness is intolerable. This inability to practice any kind of self-discipline.
The truth is, I'm getting on your nerves and you're taking it out on poor Ivan.
Are you shitting me, poor Ivan? You getting on my nerves? You're not getting on my nerves. Why should you be getting on my nerves? It's true he's getting on my nerves. It's this ingratiating tone of voice. A little smile behind every word. It's as if he's forcing himself to be pleasant. Don't be pleasant. Whatever the fuck you do, don't be pleasant. Could it be buying the Anthrios? Could buying the Anthrios have triggered a feeling of constraint between us? Buying something without his approval? Well, screw your approval, Mark. Screw your approval.
Was it buying the Antrios? The Antrios, was it? No. It actually started quite a while back. To be precise, it started the day me and him were discussing some piece of art, and you quite seriously uttered the word deconstruction. It wasn't so much the word deconstruction that upset me as the air of solemnity you imbued it with. You said, unapologetic, with no trace of irony, the word deconstruction. You, my friend. I didn't know how to respond. So I made the throwaway remark, oh, I must be getting intolerant in my old age. To which you said, who do you think you are? What makes you so high and mighty? What gives you the right to set yourself apart? So he responded in the shittiest way imaginable and completely unexpectedly. You're just Mark. What makes you think you're so special? That day I should have punched him right in the mouth. While he lay there half dead, I should have said to him, you're supposed to be my friend, Sergey. What kind of a friend are you if you don't think your friends are special? So, line is good. Little heavy, isn't it? Little fatty, all those sausages. What do you think?
Maybe. 12 minutes past 8.
So, a crisis, a major crisis, insoluble problem. Both stepmothers want their names on the invitation. Now, Catherine adores her stepmother, who more or less brought her up. She wants her name on the invitation. She wants it, and her stepmother isn't even anticipating. Which is understandable, since the mother is dead and not appearing next to Catherine's father. Whereas my stepmother, whom I detest, it's out of the question that her name should be on the invitation. But my father won't have his name on it if hers isn't. Unless Catherine's stepmother's name is left off, which is completely unacceptable. So I suggested that none of the parents' names should be on the invitation. Huh? Because we're not adolescents. We can plan the wedding ourselves and we can invite people ourselves. Right? But Catherine screamed her head off, saying that it would be a slap in the face for her parents who are paying through the nose for the reception already. And particularly for her stepmother, who's gone to so much trouble when she isn't even her daughter. And I finally let myself be persuaded. Totally against my better judgment. Because she wore me down. I finally agreed that my stepmother, whom I detest, who's a complete bitch, will have her name on the invitation. So I telephoned my mother to warn her. Mother, I said, I've done everything I can to avoid this, but we have absolutely no choice. Colette's name has to be on the invitation. And she said, well, if Colette's name is on the invitation, take mine off it. I said, please, I beg you, don't make things even more difficult than they already are. How dare you? How dare you suggest my name is left to float around the card on its own, as if I was some abandoned woman below Colette who will be clammed onto your father like a limpet. I said, I have friends waiting for me. I'll hang up and we'll discuss all of this tomorrow after a good night's sleep. And she said, why is it I am always an afterthought for you? I said, what are you talking about, mother? You're not always an afterthought. I said, of course I am. And when you say don't make things even more difficult, what you mean is everything's been decided without me. Everything's been organized without me. Poor old Nadia. She'll agree to anything and all this. She said, get this. In aid of an event, I am having some trouble grasping. I again said, I have friends waiting for me. I'll hang up now and we'll discuss all of this tomorrow, please. Of course, darling. Anything's more important than I am. Goodbye. She hung up. Now Catherine, who was next to me, but who hadn't heard her side of the conversation, said, what did she say? Said she just doesn't want her name on the invitation with Colette. No, I'm not talking about that. What did she say about the wedding? I said, nothing. You're lying. I'm not, Kathy, I promise you. She just doesn't want her name on the invitation with Colette. Now call her again and tell her when your son's getting married, you rise above your vanity. You could say the same thing for your stepmother. That's got nothing to do with it. Catherine shouted, it's me! I'm the one who's insisting her name's on it. It's not her. Poor thing. She's tagged personified if she had any idea the amount of problem this is causing. She'd be down on her knees begging for her name to be taken off. Now call her again. So I called her again. By now I'm in shreds. Ivan, my mother says to me, up till now you have conducted your affairs in the most chaotic way imaginable. And out of the blue, you've embarked on matrimony. I find myself obliged to spend all evening and afternoon with your father, a man I haven't seen in 17 years, and to whom I was not expecting to reveal my hip size and my puffy cheeks. Not to mention Colette. If I forget, she has now taken a bridge. My mother always played bridge. Now I can see all that can't be helped. But on the invitation, the one thing everyone is going to receive and examine, I insist on making a solo appearance. Catherine was listening on the extension. She screws her face in disgust and shakes her head. And I said to my mother, Mother, why are you so selfish? I'm not selfish, Ivan, I'm not selfish. You're not going to start too. You're not going to be like Madame Romero this morning and tell me I have a heart of stone. That everybody in our family has a heart of stone. That's right. That's what Madame Romero said this morning. She's gone completely insane by now. When I refused to raise her pay to 60 francs in our cash, she had the gall to say that everybody in our family has a heart of stone, when she perfectly knew about poor Andre's pacemaker. Oh, you haven't even bothered him to drop him a line. That's right. Everything's a joke to you, Ivan. You've still got to learn about life, but you go, darling. Go ahead and meet your precious friends. And then I hung up.
Then what?
And nothing. Nothing was resolved. I hung up. Mini drama with Catherine cut short because I was late.
Why do you let yourself be fucked over by all these women?
Why do I let myself be fucked over? I don't know. They're all insane.
You lost weight.
Of course I have. 10 pounds. Purely through stress.
Read Seneca.
The happy That's what I mean. What's he suggest?
It's a masterpiece.
Oh,
No, but Sir, he told me it's a masterpiece.
I said it was a masterpiece because it is a masterpiece.
Right.
It is a masterpiece.
Are you getting annoyed?
You seem to be insinuating I use the word masterpiece any chance I get.
No, I'm not.
You said the word in a kind of sarcastic way.
No, I didn't.
Yes, the word masterpiece in a kind of sarcastic way.
Is he crazy? No, I didn't. Although, when you did say the word, you qualified it by saying incredibly modern.
So,
Said incredibly modern as if that's the highest possible compliment you could give. You couldn't think of anything more admirable, more profoundly admirable than modern. Make note that I made no mention of the word incredibly. Incredibly modern.
so,
Not needling today. No, I'm not.
you are eating me today.
you're not going to start to fight today now. That just about finished me off.
You don't think that a man who wrote nearly 2,000 years ago should still be completely up to date?
Of course not. That's the definition of a classic.
You're just playing with words
So
now.
what are we going to do now? I guess we can forget about the movies. I'm sorry. You want to go eat?
Sophie tells me you're quite taken with his painting.
Yes, I am kind of taken with it. And you're not, I gather?
No. Let's go eat. Sophie actually has a very good recommendation. Linus food.
You think the food's too fatty?
I think the food is a little bit on the fatty side, but I am willing to give it a
No,
shot.
if you think the food is too fatty, we'll go someplace else.
No, let's give it a shot.
We'll go to the restaurant if you think you'll like it. If not, we won't. You like Lioness food?
No, I'll do whatever you like.
You do whatever you like. Whatever you like, you'll always do.
What's the matter with you both? Why are you acting so strange?
He's right. Once in a while, you could have an opinion of your own.
If you're going to use me as your punching bag, I'm out of here. I've put up with enough today.
Where's your sense of humor, Ivan? Where's your sense of humor, kid?
What's the matter with you? Where's my sense of humor? I don't see anything to laugh at.
Ivan, trust me. I really believe you've been losing your sense of humor. You better watch this.
What's the matter with you?
Don't you think I've also recently lost my sense of humor?
Oh, I see.
Alright, that's enough. Let's make a decision now.
You're both really
To
serious
tell you the truth, I'm not even hungry. You want my view about your women problems?
Go on.
In my view, the worst of them all is Catherine. And if you're in for letting yourself be fucked over by her now, you're in for a hideous future.
What do I do? Cancel the wedding? Are you crazy? I can't because it's all arranged. I've only been working in the stationery business for a month.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's our uncle's stationery business. He had absolutely no need to take on anyone. Least of all, someone who's only ever worked in textiles.
Do whatever you want. I've told you what I think.
Sorry, sir. I don't mean to be rude to you, but you're not necessarily the person I'd come to for matrimonial advice. You can't claim to have a great stake in that field.
Precisely.
I can't back out of the wedding. I know Catherine is hysterical, but she has her good points. There are some crucial qualities you need when you're marrying someone like me. Besides, where are you going to put it?
I don't know yet.
Why don't you put it there?
Because there, it'll be wiped out by the sunlight.
Oh yes. You know, I thought of you at the store today, where I'm of 500 posters by this guy who's painting white flowers, totally white on a white background.
Nautilus is not white.
No, of course not. I was just saying.
You don't think the painting is white?
Not entirely, no.
Ah, what color is it?
Various colors. There's yellow, there's grey, and there's some slightly ochreish lines.
And you moved by these colors?
Yes, I am moved by these colors.
You're spineless, Ivan. You have no substance. You're an amoeba.
Why are you attacking Ivan like this?
Because he's a little ascot. He's obsequious, dazzled by money, whatever he believes to be culture. And you, culture is something I absolutely piss on.
What's gotten into you today, Mark?
How could you, Ivan? And in front of me? In front of me?
What do you mean in front of you, huh? What do you mean in front of you? I find these colors touching, yes. If it's all the same for you, stop wanting to control everything.
How could you say in front of me that you find these colors touching, Ivan?
Because it's the truth.
Oh, the truth. You find these colors touching?
Yes, I find these colors
You
touching.
find these colors touching?
I
Ivan?
find these colors touching.
He finds these colors touching.
Who's not entitled?
Why is he not entitled
He's
to?
not. No, you're not entitled to.
Why is he not entitled to? I don't think you're very well, Mark. You should go and see somebody.
He's not entitled to say he finds the colors touching because he does not.
I don't find these colors touching.
There are no colors. You don't see.
Speak for yourself.
It's very demeaning, Ivan.
Who the fuck do you think you are, Mark? You hesitate. You hate everything. You despise everyone. You take pride in not being a man of your time.
I'm man of my time. What
Okay,
the
I'm
fuck
leaving.
is that supposed?
Don't go. Where are you
Leaving.
going?
I don't see why I have to put up with your tantrums.
Why are you taking offense, Ivan? If you go, you're giving in to him. A man of his time is someone who lives in his own time.
Bullshit. How can a man live in any other time but his own?
A man of his time is someone of whom it can be said in 20 years or 100 years time was representative of his era.
Okay, to what end?
What do you mean to what end?
What use is it to me if someday somebody says that I was representative of my era?
Oh, listen, sweetheart. We're not talking about you. We don't give a fuck about you. A man of his time is someone, I'm trying to explain to you, is someone who has made great contributions to the human race. Someone you admire a lot. A man of his time is not someone who assumes the history of art has come to an end with a pseudo-Flemish view of caviar.
Carcassonne.
Yes, it was the same. Anyway, a man of his time is someone who plays his part in the fundamental dynamic of the religion.
And that's a good thing according to you.
It's not good or bad. Why do you have to justify everything? It's just the way things are.
Okay, so you, for instance, do you think you play your part in the fundamental dynamic of evolution?
I do.
What about Ivan?
Oh, surely not. What part can an amoeba play?
How can you tell? Surely not from that hotel painting he has hanging on his wall.
It's not a hotel painting.
It is a motel.
It is not.
What's the difference? Ivan represents a certain way of life. A way of thinking which is completely modern. And so do you. I'm sorry, Mark, but you're a typical man of your time. And the harder you try not to be, the more you are.
Okay, fine. Was the problem
There is no problem except for you. Because you take pride in your disgusting assumption of not being a man of your time. And you'll never manage to. It's like you're in quicksand. The harder you try to get out of it, the deeper you sink. Now apologize to Ivan.
Ivan's a coward.
Bravo.
It wasn't a great idea meeting each other the way it was. I ought to go to.
Maybe.
Right.
You're the coward. Attacking someone who's incapable of defending himself.
You're right. And when you put it like that, it makes me feel even worse. Suddenly, I don't know what binds me to Ivan. I don't know what my relationship with him consists of.
Ivan's always been what he is.
No. He used to be eccentric. Kind of absurd. He was always unstable, but his eccentricity was disarming.
What about me?
What about you?
Do you know what binds me to you?
That could take us down a very long road.
Well, lead on.
sorry I upset you.
Finally you said something approximately human. And that model painting hanging on his wall was, I'm afraid, painted by his father.
What?
Shit.
What you said?
Yes, but I remembered as soon as I said it.
Ivan returns! The elevator was full. I plunged down the stairs, clattering all the way down, thinking, a coward, an amoeba, no substance. I thought I'll come back with a gun and blow his head off. Then he'll see how spineless, obsequious I am. I got to the lobby and I said to myself, listen, Bhav, you haven't been in therapy for 6 years without realizing that some deep anxiety must lie behind this insane aggression. So I relaunched myself, telling myself as I mount down the penitential stair, this is a cry for help. I have to help Mark. This is the last thing I do. In fact, the other day, I discussed you both with Finkelzone.
You discussed us with Finkelzone.
I discussed everything with Finkelzone.
Why were you discussing us?
Forbid you from discussing me with an asshole.
You were in no position to forbid me anything.
But why were you discussing us, Ivan?
I knew your relationship was under restraint, so I needed Finkelzone to explain.
Well, what did the bastard say?
Who gives a fuck what he said?
I want to know what he
What
said.
possible interest could it be to us what he said?
I want to know what he said, alright? Shit!
You want to know?
Yes.
Oh, you took notes.
Of course. He said something complicated. Should I read it?
Go on.
If I am who I am because I am who I am, and you are who you are because you are who you are, then I am who I am and you are who you are. If on the other hand, I am who I am because you are who you are, and if you are who you are because I am who I am, then I'm not who I am and I'm not who you are. Twice a week.
You're really lucky to be getting this man's experience.
Absolutely. We'd love it if you can send some copies for us.
You're wrong. It's very profound.
You know, if it's because of this man you've come back and turned the other cheek, you should be grateful. He's cut off your balls, but at least you're happy. That's all that matters.
All that's because he doesn't want you to think I like the Anthrios.
I don't care what you think about my painting, either of you.
The more I see it, the more I like it.
I don't want to discuss it with you, Ivan. Let's not discuss it. The subject is closed.
Quite touchy.
I'm not touching Mark. We've already discussed about it. The subject is closed.
Getting upset.
I'm not getting upset, Mark. I'm exhausted.
You know, if you're being so touchy about the painting, it means you're too caught up in other people's opinions.
I am not touching Mark. I'm exhausted. This is completely pointless. To be honest, I'm on the brink of getting bored with the two of you.
So let's go eat.
You go. Why don't you go off together?
No, it's so rare the three of us are together.
Oh, just as well by the look of it.
I don't know what's going on. Why can't we just calm down and let's enjoy ourselves this evening?
You realize all this calm down and waving the white flag has just added fuel to the fire. Is this a new thing?
I will not be undermined.
Very impressive.
You can't, because there are no vacancies.
What's that hearing? Just have you.
I've given in to the logic of events. Marriage, children, death, stationery. What else can happen?
Oh, we're not worthy enough to look at it, are we? Or are you afraid you'll wind up looking at it through my eyes if it stays in my presence?
No! You know what Paul Valley says? And I'd go quite a bit further.
I don't give a fuck what Paul Valery says.
But you like Paul Valery.
Don't quote Paul Valery at me.
I thought you liked Paul Valery.
I don't give a fuck what Paul Valery.
But you got me into him. I knew Paul Valery too.
Don't quote Paul Valery at me. I don't give a fuck what Paul Valery.
What do you give a fuck about then?
I give a fuck about you buying that painting. I give a fuck about you spending 200 grand on that piece of white shit.
Don't start again, Mark.
Now I'll tell you what I give a fuck about. Since everyone is coming clean, I give a fuck about your snickering and your insinuations. Your suggestion that I also might think this painting is a grotesque joke. You've denied the fact that I might feel a genuine attachment to it. You've tried to set up some loathsome complicity, and that's what's made me feel, Mark. To put it in your expression, how little binds us together these days. It's your perpetual display of distrust.
It's true, I can't trust you loving that painting.
But why?
Because I love Sergei, and I can't love the Sergei who bought that painting.
Why do you say buying? Why do you say buying? Why can't you say loving?
Because I can't say loving. I can't believe loving.
But why would I buy it if I didn't love it?
That's the nub of the question.
See how smug he is? All I'm doing is teasing him, and his answer is this pompous heavy hint. And it never occurred to you for one single second how much I might love that painting, and that your vicious, inflexible opinions and your disgusting assumption of complicity might be hurtful to me.
No.
When you asked me what I thought of Paula, a woman who once spent an entire dinner party maintaining Huntington syndrome could be cured homeopathically, did I say I found her ugly, repellent, and charmless?
Is that what you think of Paula?
What's your theory?
No, of course it doesn't think that. You don't think that of Paula.
Answer me.
You see the effect you can have.
Sergei, tell me, is that how you actually think of Paula?
Words, actually.
Worse, Sergei? Worse than repellent? You will explain to me how someone can be worse than repellent.
Aha! When it's something that concerns you personally, I see words can bite a little deeper.
Sergei, explain to me how someone can be worse than repellent.
No need to take that frosty tone. Let me try and explain you. Perhaps it's the way she waves away cigarette smoke.
The way she waves away cigarette smoke?
Yes, the way she waves away cigarette smoke. What appears to you a gesture of no significance, a harmless gesture, is in fact the opposite. And the way she waves away cigarette smoke just sits right at the heart of her repellentness.
You speak of the woman I share my life with in these intolerable terms because you disapprove of her way of waving away cigarette smoke.
That's right. The way of waving away cigarette smoke just highlights a cold, condescending, and narrow-minded nature.
Sergei, before I completely lose my temper, you will explain what you're doing. This is very serious.
A normal woman would say, "I'm sorry, I find the smoke a bit uncomfortable. Would you please mind moving your ashtray?" But no, not her. She doesn't deign to speak. She describes her contempt in the air with this calculated gesture, verily malicious. This hand movement she thinks nobody will understand, the implication of which is to say, "Go on, smoke, smoke, it's pathetic. But what's the point of calling attention to it?"
You're exaggerating.
You see how he doesn't say I'm wrong? He says I'm Her method of waving away cigarette smoke condemns her out of hand.
Take it back, sir. Take what you just said back, right now.
No,
Yes, you must.
no.
Sergei, for the last time, take back what you've just said.
Take it back, take it back. This is ridiculous.
Take back what you...
A pair of fossils.
Oh shit!
Show me.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Wait a minute. I'll get something.
Complete freaks, both of you. Two government men gone completely insane.
Hold that on it for a while.
That really hurt. If I found out you burst out my eardrum,
Of course not.
how do you know? You're not an actual doctor.
Just calm down.
You can't demolish somebody just because you don't like her method of waving away cigarette smoke.
Yes, you can.
Alright, but it doesn't make sense.
What do you know about sense?
You know, keep attacking me. Keep attacking me. I could be hemorrhaging internally, but I've just seen a mouse running by.
It's a rat.
A rat?
He comes and goes.
You have a rat?
Leave it where it is.
What's happened between you? Huh? Something must have happened between you for you to get this demented.
I've just bought a work of art and that makes Mark uncomfortable.
Oh, you started it again. You're in a downward spiral, you know. You can't stop yourselves. It's like me and Colette. The most pathological relationship you can imagine.
Who's Colette?
My stepmother.
Oh, you haven't mentioned her in a while.
Why didn't you tell me earlier what you thought of Paula?
I didn't want to upset you.
No.
What do you mean, no?
When I first asked you what you thought of Paula, you said she's a perfect match for me.
Yes,
It sounded positive coming from you,
sure.
given the state you were in at the time.
Alright, what are you trying to prove?
Since I can no longer support you in your frenzy, though, recent craving for novelty, I've become condescending, narrow-minded, fossilized.
I'm in agony. Something's drilling through my brain.
Have a sip of brandy.
What do you think? If something shaky loose in my brain, don't you think alcohol is a little risky?
Do you want an aspirin then?
Aspirin? Well,
Well, what the fuck do you want?
don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Carry on with the purposeless conversation. Don't pay any attention to me.
Easier said than done.
You might squeeze out a drop of compassion, but no.
I don't mind you being with Paula. I don't resent you being with Paula.
You have no reason to resent it.
But you resent me. But I was about to say for being with the Antrios.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Am I missing something here, Ivan?
I didn't replace you with Paula.
But I replaced you with the Antrios.
Yes.
I replaced you with the Antrios.
Yes, the Antrios and everything it implies.
Do you know what you're talking about, Mark?
In my time, you would have never bought that painting.
What do you mean in your time?
A time when you made a distinction between me and other people. When you judged things by my standards.
Was there such a time?
It's just cruel and petty.
No, I assure you, I'm staggered.
And if Ivan hadn't turned into such a sponge, he would back me up.
Keep going, keep going.
There was a time you were proud to be my friend. When you congratulated yourself on my being a maverick. On my taste for standing apart. You would exhibit me untamed to your circle, you whose life was so normal. I was your alibi. But eventually, I suppose that kind of affection dries up. Belatedly, you claim your independence.
I like belated.
But I hate your independence. It's violence. You abandoned me. Betrayed me. You're a traitor. That's all you are.
If I understand correctly, he was my mentor. And if I loved you as my mentor, what was the nature of your feelings?
You can guess.
Yes, but I want to hear you say it.
I love the way you saw me. I was flattered. I was really grateful for you thinking of me as a man of art. I even thought being a man of art was somehow superior condition. One day you showed me that it wasn't.
This is very alarming.
What a disaster.
What a disaster!
Especially for me. Whereas you found a new family. Your penchant for idolatry has unearthed the objects of worship. The artist. Deconstruction.
What is deconstruction?
Oh, you don't know what deconstruction is? Ask Sergey, he's very much on top of the subject. I'm convinced me some ridiculous piece of art was somehow comprehensible. Look at me. And see you're laughing. When you smile like that, I think there's still some hope. Like an idiot.
Why did you wake up? Let's enjoy ourselves this evening. Oh, this is ludicrous.
It's all my fault. We've not been meeting recently and I've been away and you've met with the high ends, the Robsons, the desperate who dare. That dentist, Roger Allier, he's the one.
No, not at all. He's from completely different world. He only likes conceptual art.
It's all the same thing.
No, it's not all the same.
Even more evidence that I've let you slip away. Nowadays, we can't even let each other be understood.
I had no idea whatsoever. It has come as a complete surprise to me, Mark, how much I was under your influence. The extent to which you owned me.
Or didn't own you, as it turned out. You should never leave your friends unchaperoned. Your friends always have to be chaperoned. Or else they'll get away. Look at Ivan. His chaotic nature used to excite us. We've allowed him to become this timid stationer. Practically married. He who brought us his originality is now making every effort to piss it away.
Us? He brought us? Do you know what you're talking about, Mark? The entire world doesn't have to revolve around you.
I can't love people for themselves.
Why
What
can't
is
you
that?
love people for themselves?
What are they, other than my faith in them?
They are what they are, Mark.
I'm desperate to find a friend who's had any sort of prior existence. So far I've had no luck. I've had to mold you. But one day your creature goes out and has dinner with a desperate cougar, and to confirm his new status, buys a white painting.
So here we are at the end of a 15-year-old friendship.
Yes.
Pathetic.
If only we'd had a normal conversation. If only I'd been able to explain myself.
Go on,
Using
then.
I don't believe in the rules of contemporary art. The rule of novelty. The rule of surprise. Surprise is dead meat, Sergey. No sooner conceived than dead.
You know what you're talking about.
That's all. That's all I was to you, my surprise value. A surprise that lasted quite a while, right?
Finkelzone is a genius. I told you he'd understood everything.
You know, Ivan, I'd really like it if you stop umpiring and stop pretending that you're not fully implicated in this conversation.
You want to implicate me? I refuse. Besides, I've already got a boss teardrop.
You guys work out things for yourselves. You know, what's really annoying me about you right now, quite apart from what I've already mentioned, is your desire to put me and Sergey at the same level. To put us at an equal footing. Equal the way you saw us when we were friends. But we were never equal, Ivan. You have to choose.
I have chosen.
I don't need a
So-
supporter.
You're not going to turn the point down now, are you?
Why do we see each other? Huh? Why do we see each other if we hate each other? I mean, it's clear. You guys hate each other. I don't hate you, but you hate each other and you hate me. I was looking forward to a relaxing evening with my two best friends. Going to the movies, hanging out, and getting away from all these dramas.
You realize you talked about nothing but yourself.
Who do you talk about? Everybody talks about themselves.
You fuck up our evening. You come here.
I
and
fuck up your
our
evening.
Yes, you.
I fuck up your evenings.
Yes.
I fuck up your
Yes,
evenings.
it's you.
Good times
Don't
that
get
you
excited,
want to
it's
say.
you.
I fucked up your evening. It's me who fucked up your
In
evening.
3/4 of an hour, you didn't apologize, and you drowned us in your domestic wars.
And your inertia, your sheer neutral spectator's inertia has lured Mark and me into the worst excesses.
You too? You starting me not me too?
Yes, because on this subject, I'm entirely in agreement with Mark.
You've been piping up this subservient, finicky voice of reason ever since you've come here. It's intolerable.
I could burst into tears. I'm very close to tears. I could cry.
Cry.
Right.
Cry?
You have every reason to cry. You're losing two of your best friends and you're marrying a fourth.
It's all over.
As you said, if we hate each other, why do we have to meet?
But what about my wedding? You're my witnesses, remember?
Find someone else.
I can't.
Yes, you can find someone. Last minute, up to the last minute.
I can't. You're not allowed to.
Of course you are.
You're not.
Don't worry, we'll come.
But what you should do is cancel the wedding.
He's right.
Oh shit. Oh shit. This is savage what you're doing. I mean, you could have had your fight after the 12th, but no! You're determined to ruin my wedding. A wedding which is already a catastrophe, which has made me lose 10 pounds, and now you're totally fucking it up. The only two people who guaranteed some spark of satisfaction are determined to destroy each other. Just my luck. You think I like packs of Filofax paper or rolls of Scotch tape? Huh? You think any normal man would wake up desperate to sell expandable document wallets? What do I do? I followed it around for 40 years. I made you laugh. Oh yes, I made all my friends laugh their heads off. Playing the fool. But at night, who was left solitary as a rat? Who was left solitary as a rat and who crawled back into his hole? This buffoon, dying of loneliness, would switch on anything that could talk. And who does he find on the answering machine? His mother and his mother.
Don't get so upset.
Don't get so upset. But who upset me in the first place? Don't get so upset. I don't have your refined sensibilities. I'm not an heavyweight. I don't have an opinion. Don't tell me to calm down. Calm down is the first thing you can say to someone who's lost his calm. Are you trying to drive me crazy? Huh? I don't want to be self-sufficient. I don't want to be an authority figure. I just want to be your friend, Ivan the Joker. Ivan the Joker.
Could we try to steer clear of pathos?
I'm finished. You have anything to nibble on just to keep me from passing out?
I've got some olives.
And the more.
Want some, Mark?
I think we've reached these extremes. Apocalypse because of a white square.
It's not white.
A piece of white shit. That's what it is, man. A piece of white shit. Face it. You buying this thing is demented.
Do you have one of your blue felt tip pens?
What for?
Do you or don't you?
Just a moment. Yes, blue.
Your turn.
I'm not going to draw on the painting.
Go on. Come on. All right, I'm starving. Wanna go eat?
after the wedding, Catherine put her wedding bouquet and a little bag of sugared almonds on her mother's grave at the Montparnasse cemetery. I slipped behind the monument to cry. And in the evening also, thinking about this touching tribute, I silently started sobbing in my bed. I absolutely have to speak to Ficklezone about this tendency to cry. I cry all the time. And it's not very normal of my age to cry. It revealed at least at Sergei's, the evening of the white painting. After Sergei, out of pure madness, had demonstrated to Mark that he cared more about him than his painting. We went ahead and had dinner, share a meal. And over dinner, Sergei and Mark tried to reconstruct the relationship, which was destroyed by both word and deed. At one point, one of them used this expression, trial period, and I burst into tears. This expression, trial period, applies to our friendship. Set off in me an uncontrollable and unimaginable convulsion. In fact, I can no longer stand any kind of rational argument. Nothing formative in this world, nothing beautiful can ever be born out of rational argument.
When Mark and I succeeded in obliterating the skier with the help of dish soap and some added alcohol, recommended by Paula, I turned to Mark, I looked at the Andreos, turned to Mark and said, "Did you know ink from felt tips was washable?"
No? Did you?
No, I said very quickly, lying. I came within an inch of saying, "Yes, I guess I did know." But was it right to start our trial period on a disappointing admission? Was it right to start with a lie? A lie? Let's be more reasonable. Why am I being so absurdly virtuous? Why does my relationship with Mark have to be so categorical?
Under the white clouds, snow is falling. You can't see the snow, or the clouds, or the cold, or the white glow of the earth. A solitary man glides down on his knees. The snow is falling. Snow keeps falling until the man disappears behind the landscape. My friend Sergei, one of my oldest friends, has bought a painting. It's a canvas about 5 feet by 4, and it depicts a man who moves across the space